Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to this new video, and in this video I'm going to be explaining the new Asian abilities that were actually released this week, and I'm going to be showing you how to get them as well as what they do. There's 4 different abilities. They each require 75 attack, range, mage, and one requires 91 constitution, and I'm going to be going through how to get them, etc. So on the screen right now you should be able to see that you need to go to the archaeological expert who is in the exam center south of the dig site. For this you will need to have done the dig site quest. Another thing that did come out with this update is the new Nihil familiars, 4 of them to be precise, and they each correspond to the Nihil creatures that you can kill, that being Blood, Ice, Smoke, and Shadow. Now basically, in order to get these you will need 150 Elder Energies, an Elder Charm, a pouch, and a secondary untradeable ingredient which can be obtained from killing the Nihils themselves. So from the Blood Nihil you will get the Vampire Fangs for the Blood Nihil pouch, the Ice Nihil gives you the Icene Feather, the Smoke Nihil gives you Aviancy Talons, and the Shadow Nihil does give you Demon Horn. And basically these 8 secondary ingredients are actually untradeable, but they're quite easy to get just from killing the Nihils, and they're not really too hard after the quest. Basically all you have to do is go back to where you killed them during the Fate of the Gods quest and then just kill them really easily one by one. And basically the thing is that you can actually make the secondary ingredient for a Nihil pouch that you haven't actually killed. So if you have, let's say, Vampire Fangs, which is a Blood Nihil, you can actually transmute them for about 50 Elder Energies, and you can transmute it into any other Nihil pouch secondary. So you can transmute the Blood Nihil secondary into a Smoke Nihil. So as soon as you've got one Nihil secondary, you can basically have all of the other secondaries depending on which one you want to transmute it into using 50 Elder Energies. The new familiars do have their own combat style. The Blood Nihil is a melee familiar, the Smoke and Ice Nihil are mage familiars, and the Shadow Nihil is a range familiar. Now this familiar will actually give you a 5% accuracy boost if you are using the same combat style as the Nihil. So if you're using melee and you're using the Blood Nihil familiar, it will give you a hidden 5% accuracy boost, which can be useful if you're killing a boss of some sort. And also they do have a special attack with the scroll like every other summoning familiar, which is called Annihilate, and it can cause damage as well as maybe stun the opponent, which is similar to the Minotaur special attack, which is Bull Rush. So basically if you don't know what this does, just basically you can quickly look up the Minotaur special attack and it's almost exactly the same thing. Out of the 4 new ability, guys, the melee one is called Blood Tendrils and is a threshold ability, obviously requiring 50% adrenaline, and it will deal 180% weapon damage for the first hit and up to 90% weapon damage for the 4 next hits. Each of those next hits could damage you up to 25%, and this lasts for 5 seconds. The next ability, guys, is a magic ability that is also a threshold, so obviously it does require 50% adrenaline, and it's called the Smoke Tendrils, and it will deal 100% weapon damage for your first hit, and then 125% for the next hit, 150% for the next hit, and 200% the final hit. So it does do 4 consecutive hits, but each hit hits you for 25%, 50%, and 100% of the weapon damage, and this lasts for 6 seconds. So the first hit from this ability won't damage you, but the subsequent 3 will damage you according to how much you do here with this ability. The third and final of the threshold abilities that was released with this update is the Shadow Tendrils, which is for ranged, and what this ability does is basically takes 33 to 250% damage of the weapon damage and hits your opponent. Then it strikes once for 66 to 500% of the weapon damage all at once. Now basically, like the other 3 abilities, this will damage you slightly, but it's unlike the other 2 abilities, this will take all the damage from you at once, and it will damage your opponent within 1 or 2 hits. So basically this is more of an instant hit, whereas the other 2 are mainly damage over time abilities. The final ability that was released with this update is a Constitution ability requiring level 91 Constitution, and it is an ultimate ability unlike the other 3 thresholds, and this is called Ice Asylum, and it's actually very unique in that it doesn't only heal you, it can heal you as well as all of your teammates, and basically it has a total capacity of 3 times your max life points. Now 1 to 7% of your max life points is healed every 1 to 4 seconds depending on the proximity. So if you are really close to it, it will heal 7%, and if you are like the furthest you can be from it will only heal 1% of your max life points every 1 to 4 seconds. Now 20 seconds after being summoned or after it's reached its max healing capacity, it is basically going to disappear, and it shares a cooldown with Guthix's Blessing and Rejuvenation, which is actually really nice, as this doesn't only help you, it helps your teammates, which is really good for things like Virago, KK, or Nex, or team bosses like that. And unlike things like the Guthix's Blessing, it cannot be killed, and unlike Rejuvenate, it doesn't really require shield, so this is by far one of the best healing abilities out there, and it should be used if you do have it. So guys, right now you should be seeing a video of the Blood Nihil Familiar that I did make, and a close-up of me using the Orb of Oculus and kind of failing me because there was a bit of a graphical glitch where it just kept on getting stuck. But yeah, this is the Blood Nihil Familiar, and it does look almost exactly like Next, just a smaller version and fully red. So you can just quickly just look at this, and it's almost like a showcase, but cool. Another thing released with this update is the ability to get Nihil and Muspa Slayer tasks both from Kuradel, and what you will need to do in order to unlock this is unlock the ability for 50 points from Kuradel. So Nihils require 50 points to unlock, as well as Muspa Slayer tasks also require 50 points. So basically you go to her, and as seen on screen, you basically just right click and go to rewards, and then you should be able to unlock the ability to get them as a Slayer task. Both of them require 76 Slayer, and also an addition to this is that Muspas have actually been giving an extra drop, which is Dragon Ward, currently worth 100k, but it shouldn't be too expensive because it is a shield and nobody really uses shield, so don't expect that to hold any real value. So guys, that is going to be it for this video. If you did like it, be sure to comment, rate and subscribe to my channel. It did take quite a while to make and get all the clips whilst also doing the commentary, because I am actually in the middle of doing exams right now. So if you do appreciate the effort that I've made, be sure to throw it a thumbs up. Peace out guys.